Hi, Veselina. Can you hear me?
Hello? Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, let me fix this.
Awesome.
I think I'll just put I'll put this down completely. It's good to have sun in the office, but it's not good if you're on a call.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I see that we have some guests already here in the call. Hello. We are starting in 10 minutes, so we just wanted to make these checks before we start.
Yeah.
And we will be also streaming in YouTube, live in Facebook as well, so we will be everywhere.
Good. I'll probably just before we start, I'll use the restroom, but it works. Yeah, you can hear me well?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me well as well?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. And the event is a 1 hour event, right?
Yeah, it's 1 hour. It's scheduled for 1 hour.
Okay. How are you doing today? All good?
Yeah, everything is awesome. I feel much better
Good.
because I had this awful flu and yesterday I could barely talk. So today, yeah, I had some medicine, in order to fix the thing and everything is all right.
Good to hear. Look, if it's any consolation, I had like allergic reaction to food for the first time in my life yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I ate some prawns, and it was really, I never thought this could happen, but it was not pleasant. And I'm really like, I was like, damn, this is the happening, and a little bit scary. I took some tablets and antihistamines, and I felt better.
Yeah.
But imagine, like, I was about to join some calls, and my face started popping. I was like, oh my god, like, what is
Indeed.
happening?
It's awful experience.
Yeah, I think I officially arrived in middle age.
All right. I have my two kids around in the apartment, so I'm like, oh my god, if they start screaming, what
I
shall we
mean,
do?
it is what it is. It's the COVID reality, right? Like
Yeah.
your personal and professional life have become one, right?
Yes, absolutely. Whoa. All right. We had more than 120 people registered for the event. And I saw that approximately 270 are interested in LinkedIn. So I guess that some of them will join here, other will be watching it live. Let's see.
Should be fun.
Yeah.
I'll use the opportunity. I'll be back in a few minutes, but
Of course, yeah.
it's all working. So I'll just
Yeah,
unmute
yeah. Everything
the
is all
video.
right. Yeah. Hello. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, Lazaros. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. We're starting in 5 minutes, hopefully. Hi, John.
Hey, hi, Don.
Hello. How are you?
Good. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Yeah, everything works well.
Okay, perfect.
We have a few more minutes. We have Nikola with us and also Lazaros. So we are almost full house.
Okay.
Hey, John.
How you doing?
All good.
So we are now full house. Just let's wait a few more minutes for just to give the opportunity for more of the participants to join. Hi, Stoyan, welcome. Can you hear us?
Hello,
Hi.
I can hear you and I can see you.
We can't see you, but I hope that we'll see you soon.
Maybe now, just a moment. Okay.
Not yet, Stoyan. I think it's yeah, it's still dark on my side. I don't know if Veselina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry for that. I'm trying to, my camera is working, by the way. Just a moment.
You can rejoin.
Meanwhile, I want to say hello to all of you guys.
Hi,
Even
yeah.
without, yeah. I think that I need to restart the Zoom. Sorry. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. We are starting in a few minutes. Thanks for being with us today. Welcome, everyone. Just few more minutes just to make sure that we have all of our participants in the Fireside chat today here with us. We are expecting only Stoyan to join. He has some technical issues. I guess that he will fix them soon, like 2 more minutes, and we are starting.
Okay, I think we're live now.
All right, we're full house now, so we can then kick off.
Yeah, I was so sure that exactly at 6:00 I will join and everything will be great. And of course, I needed to change the computer at the end.
It will
No
be great.
worries.
Don't worry.
Yeah, we are good. Okay, once again, hi everyone and welcome. We are absolutely delighted to have you all here today with us attending our Fireside chat on the topic of NFTs, like the next frontier, the next chapter of digital commerce. And happy International Women's Day to the ladies in our audience. My name is Veselina. I'm part of the team of 11 Ventures, and I'm also the manager of a fintech startup program that we do in partnership with Visa. It's called Visa Innovation Program. With this program, basically, we provide a platform for collaboration between emerging fintech talent and Visa and its global partner network, like clients, meaning banks, neobanks, non-banking financial institutions, merchants, and governments across the globe. Every year, we have an open call and attract some of the most promising fintech founders to engage with us and execute pilot projects and commercial deals within Visa's network. So far, we have attracted close to 600 companies, and we have 50 portfolio companies in our Visa Innovation Program Alumni Club. So if you are a fintech company and would like to apply and join us in this year's issue of the Visa Innovation Program, please do so. The website is visainnovationprogram.com. We chose the topic of NFTs for today's chat because we see a growing interest, at the same time increasing community activity in our region around NFT projects. It happens all across Europe, and in addition to the most obvious use cases such as collectibles and art, our community is definitely interested in using NFTs for more diverse use cases, such as lending, for example, or real estate, or just blending the physical and digital world in the commerce through NFTs. And talking about that, we couldn't think of better persons to ask these questions today than our guests. I'm really delighted to have here with us Nikola Plecas from Visa. He is the crypto lead for Visa Europe. Stoyan Angelov, CEO and co-founder of Fragmint. And Lazaros Penteridis, CEO and co-founder of ComeTogether. And of course, our kind host today, John. Hi, John.
Hi, how you doing?
Thought Leaders community. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the chat. And just a small note to everyone, we're streaming live in social media. Well, John, off to you. And thank you once again, everyone, for being here with us today.
Thank you very much. This is really exciting, and hope everybody leaves this fireside chat more informed and ready to take on the NFT world. So I guess we'll just start off with the most obvious question, and I'll just open it up to the panelists. But what exactly are NFTs, and what are the benefits of NFTs?
Can I start with the first answer?
Yeah, let's do it.
You know, like if I try to explain what NFT is to my grandmother,
I'm not sure whether I have a problem, but we can't hear you, Stoyan.
No.
Yeah.
We cannot hear.
All
So
right.
we'll go.
Can you hear me?
We can, but not now.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
Again.
Let's do it
I don't
again.
know.
Let's
I
explain.
changed from Windows to Mac, and the Mac again is bugging. I don't know. Maybe it's.
I love it.
And,
all right. Well, let's explain NFTs to Grandma one more time.
Yes, and if I want to explain her what NFT is, it's a record of, it's a proof of certificate that you own something. This is the easiest way to explain to someone what NFT is, because it's a record that nobody can actually hack and nobody can overwrite without to see what exactly is happening with this record. And on that way, you can add to this NFT this painting, or in the future, maybe your real estate property, or you can add any kind of music rights or kind of rights for something to receive, let's say, royalties from sales on some fashion brand or some merchandise. It could be everything. And it's a simple digital record that is saying this is created for this specific reason, and no one can corrupt on that way. That gives a huge and wide options to be used on really unlimited type of use cases. Now, some of the first use cases that people are using is like the art, to create some specific characters. But the people that are going deeper into the rabbit hole, actually, they understand that it's not just a picture, but it's a proof of certificate that, for example, you are part of a community, let's say the Bored Apes one, which is like significant in the NFT space. These are some monkeys, but you are not buying it because this monkey is so beautiful, but you're buying it because of the status, because you have access to red carpet events, for example. You are on one chat with with Sylvester Stallone and other people in Discord, and a lot of other things that are not possible if you are not part of this NFT world. Yeah.
Love it. Nikola, do you have anything to add? I mean, I know that
Yeah.
Visa actually, you purchased a CryptoPunk a while ago, right? The company did.
We have, John, and look, I think first and foremost, you know, the way we see this as it can be summed up really in one word: opportunity. You know, we see the nascent NFT space as potentially having and becoming as important as e-commerce has become over the coming years, and potentially your crypto wallet could be just as important as you kind of address today for kind of shipping physical goods. And, you know, there is a number of different use cases. And when we speak about Visa and kind of, hey, Nikola, why did you guys buy CryptoPunk? And yeah, the answer is very simple. We bought it to learn. Okay, we bought it to learn what it really requires for a big organization, corporate such as ours, to really go through the process of, you know, purchasing an NFT, sourcing an NFT, and then custodying an NFT. And we kind of hope that to use some of the learnings we have gathered for this process to really help our clients kind of take part and really start participating in this new NFT economy. And there's a number of use cases. We can go down many rabbit holes. I think Stoyan covered a few, but for me, really the most exciting one, and this is just on a personal level, right, is the fact that you can use a digital good and you now can establish ownership of a digital good like an image or a video or a sound. And with it, John, like you can create really cool, customizable, like, you know, loyalty reward experiences with your favorite band or favorite artist or favorite sports club. And, you know, the limit there is almost kind of hard to fathom at this point. And it really excites us as Visa, and we are really keen to support both the kind of communities, but also the kind of emerging NFT ecosystems in this space.
Love it, love it. Lazaros, I'd love to get your thoughts, and I'd also just love to hear like what ComeTogether is all about.
Okay, let me explain then. So first of all, to start with what NFTs are, as probably many of you already know, they are non-fungible tokens, and technically they are exactly that, meaning tokens on the blockchain that are uniquely identifiable and not interchangeable. So a blockchain for the first time enables digital scarcity and ownership in the digital world. So while cryptocurrencies like the fungible tokens are about putting in natively digital things like money, financial assets, and so on, NFTs allow to put things that are one of a kind, like digital property, like for example, real estate, and all the examples that the guys already have mentioned, such as music, tickets, digital items from a video game. And yeah, their benefits are huge. First of all, for their creators, they allow them to monetize their content and engage their communities without intermediaries, and in a way that the communities do the marketing for them. Essentially, they are essentially becoming ambassadors for the creators and for themselves. And for the buyer of the NFT, they provide, first of all, sentimental value of owning a collectible, then return on investment sometimes, as they might be able to sell them later at a higher value, and especially this rewards early discovery of really great communities and great content. And the other thing that I think is most important, is the flexing part, like the thing that they can show off in their social media. And I think we're just starting to tap on that because this is what's coming now with the mixture of NFTs and social. So it started with Twitter allowing people to put their profile picture as an NFT, and it shows that it's an NFT. And yeah, this way they can show off their taste and even their wealth sometimes, which is something that people do. And beyond these benefits as collectibles, they have a benefit that they can include utility. So they could actually provide things in the real world, like access to events, to digital or physical, discounts of products, and access to special content and anything you can imagine. So yeah, I think that's a summary from my side.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, I'm actually a director of strategic partnerships at NFT Genius, which is a Mark Cuban and Ashton Kutcher venture-backed NFT technology platform. We built out a marketplace called Gaia, and we're really focused on bringing the biggest brands and IPs into the NFT world. And I'm just sort of curious what I mean, I advise brands all the time, and I understand kind of the struggles, but I'm curious what you all see in terms of the challenges of big companies entering the NFT space, and what they should be prepared for and what they should really understand before they dive in.
Can I ask? Can I
Yeah.
just to say that our NFT platform in the ecosystem that we're building for the last 5 years, it's called Fragmint, and we are now starting the first campaign with a big Hollywood company as the first NFT drop in our platform. I can still not disclose because on 22nd of March, there will be a huge announcement about this first NFT drop and partnership that we are having. And this is one like a really big company, and I can give you like some incentive of how we actually prepare ourselves for having NFT collaboration with them. We as a blockchain company, and they as an entertainment company and Hollywood studio. It's a really long period, and my advice to everyone that is having like this kind of conversations is never to overpromise, and to be like first deep into the rabbit hole and to understand what are the risks also to engage a huge company that is having its reputation for the last, let's say, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, and to enter in a world that is highly speculative. There is a big chance someone to be scammed. There is a big chance someone to lose his keys and to have problems with because he don't know how to manage his NFTs, and this is kind of really important. First, to be very aware of what exactly the blockchain technology is, what are the use cases, how you can really help this big company to create something significant on this place, and also to give them the perspective of the blockchain community people, because it's a different marketing, it's different approach, it's different business model as well. And like based on my experience, like we were really very careful of managing this partnership for the last, I can say, last 9 months. And we have a very strict contract with them that I actually want to say, like all of the people that are that want to enter on some big partnerships, really to have a real contracts as well, because the world is still not on Web3. It's still on Web2. You still can have a big problem with from the legal perspective if you don't have everything clear. And yeah, that's my insight here and advice, that be very careful, and also be down very into the rabbit hole, because to know what exactly you're proposing to these people and what are the benefits and the risks as well.
Yeah, I can go next, John. This is a great question that you're asking here, and it's the one we kind of spend a lot of time thinking, both kind of on our own and with our partners. And I would say the first question you should really ask yourself as a brand or a business looking to go into the NFTs, what are you trying to solve for? And what exactly is the objective of you entering into NFT space? Is it building a collection? Is it building just a PR buzz? Is it building some sort of customized rewards and experiences? And out of that, really the second design choice, I would say, is the infrastructure you're going to build your NFT platform on. And that has some potential pros and cons, whether you're choosing one kind of blockchain over the other. And even kind of beyond that, once you make the decision, first of all, it's very difficult to retract it. So your decisions in kind of early stages of your project will have longer term implications, whether you believe in a certain kind of ecosystem or not, whether it's going to be easier for your kind of customers to use this 2, 3, 5 years down the line. And then above and beyond that, you need to start thinking of how you're going to enable consumers to access these NFTs. Which kind of wallets will it be custody? Are you going to build a wallet yourself? If you are, who is going to be your customer? So you say your custody partner. So it's really the whole end-to-end process from thinking for the customer needs, building your proposition, making design choices of partner, build, purchase, and then kind of thinking of the right go-to-market. And a part of that also means that if you enable your consumers to purchase these solely for the existing flows, which sometimes, let's be honest, they're not the cleanest and the most user-friendly. My wife asked me a couple of, maybe like 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, how do I get into this NFT space? How do I buy an NFT? And I started explaining her, and she told me, like, you're making this deliberately hard for me. Like, why is it so complicated? And I was like, this is just how it works today. And there have been some advancements and ideas to reduce the flow, to kind of be able to purchase the NFT directly with a card. And obviously, as Visa, we have a vested interest in that. And we think that from a consumer perspective, the more friction you remove from the process, the easier you make it for, Veselina, you, me, Stoyan, Lazaros, and everybody else to buy an NFT. The sooner you'll come to the critical mass and really be able to transform your project into a way of kind of developing and growing as fast as some of the e-commerce growth that we have seen over the last 2 decades.
Yeah, I mean, where do you think we're at right now in terms of the NFT life cycle, and what are those on-ramps that are going to be necessary to get people from Web 2 to Web 3?
Yeah, from a purely payments perspective, and that's the one I can talk about. I think we're still at an early stage. There is a number of different ways that you can think about, hey, here's how I'm going to build my NFT collection. Here's where I'm going to store it. Let's say that we have different interests, John, and maybe some of them crisscross. So that would mean in practice that you could have one collection on Ethereum, one on Solana, and maybe another one on Tezos in the future. How do you work together with them? How do you band them together? How do you show them together? There's just one problem. Then in terms of purchasing and transferring and having this ability to really build your digital identity in such a way that interacts well with Web 3.0, I think we're still at early stage. Same with payments, same with kind of payment experiences. I personally think that what we have now is not the most optimal one from perspective of like an average potential user like my wife. I could be wrong, but I think we're still at an early stage. And there's been a lot of dev work done in the crypto and blockchain ecosystem, and some of it has been fantastic. Every time I speak with some of these kind of young companies and startups, I'm blown away by what we're trying to do. But the business application is still not there for quite a few of these new flows, and I'm excited to see where it will be taken in the next few years, maybe even next few quarters.
Can I also add something here? Because I just came back. I was a speaker today on Dubai Meta Week, blockchain Meta Week event, where we are partnered with our company Evido. But also, I saw today, so many trying to be Web3 companies, different metaverses, different VR applications, blockchain projects, and this kind of stuff. It's so exciting, but I 100% agree with Nikola that we are on very early stage. It's still comparing with 7 years ago when I was entering crypto. We are we are on a very high level now. But for sure, maybe in the next 3 to 5 years, there's so many improvements that need to be done technology-wise and interface-wise. And Nicola's wife and my wife and my grandmother to start using this like they're using the phone now. Which makes the things even more exciting because we are on very early stage now.
Yeah. I would also like to recap what the previous speaker said, and just to emphasize how we as ComeTogether address some of these challenges. So yeah, first of all, challenges vary from regulatory perspective. You have to be careful, but this is solvable. Then there are challenges in terms of consumer adoption of these things. So currently, most public blockchains are not addressing a mainstream audience, but rather a crypto native one. That's why we have implemented a different blockchain approach, where we are essentially custodians of the NFTs, like an exchange, like a centralized exchange, for example, with crypto. So we do custody of the NFTs. We issue them on our own network. It's a NEOS.io network, and this removes gas fees as well, and also allows for very fast transactions. And also we have payments with fiat currency like euros and so on. So at least we remove this burden, and then we allow the users to start their journey with those NFTs. But later on, or if they are experienced even from the beginning, they can withdraw these NFTs and mint them into a public blockchain like Ethereum. And later we want to add more like Solana, so that it will be their choice, and they connect the MetaMask and withdraw those NFTs if they choose. So we kind of think that we provide best of both worlds this way. Apart from that, this way at least these companies that we are also forming partnerships with do not have to educate their users. At least they have to educate them only for the business value of the NFTs and not for the technical challenges of it. And that would be mostly what I wanted to put some emphasis. Yeah, apart from that, I told you the regulatory issues are mostly solved. It just requires some scrutiny there to be careful.
Yeah, and something else from my side, in addition to what you just mentioned, guys, is that, the legal thing is one side, regulatory, of course, the bad actors existing as well. But there is something else which is related to the ESG policy, and what in the venture capital space, for example, exists is whether if you invest in NFT company, this relates or this is somehow in a conflict with the ESG policy of your LPs, let's say. This is something that relates to the climate change and all of these topics that are really important nowadays.
Love it. Nikola, I have a question for you. What is Visa's role focus right now on in like the NFT space, Web3? Is it more the collectible side, or is it more these enterprise solutions that are going to become a bigger part of the NFT conversation as we start to move forward in the space? Obviously, in my role, I'm talking to auto manufacturers. They want to use NFTs for supply chain, car service records, financing, real world applications. And, right now, all the talk is obviously about the CryptoPunks and the Bored Apes, but I think the real opportunity is with these more mundane enterprise solutions. I'm just curious how Visa is approaching this.
Yeah, thanks, John. So the first thing is mentioned, we're in the process of learning, and this is why we kind of undergone ourselves we kind of taken the action of purchasing, understand the NFT, understanding how do you actually source it, transferring funds, and then custodying it. And as part of that, we also understood some of the existing pain points that are present today in the flows. And I would say our role today, the primary role we want to play is an enabler in the sense of finding the right ways, partners, and solutions and propositions so that you, John, and Stoyan, and my wife, and everybody else can start using cards to purchase NFTs directly. Again, it's mentioned, it's relatively early stage. There is a couple of announced solutions that are looking to solve for this, couple of solutions that are in the pipes that I'm aware of. And I think once, we want to, primarily what we do, John, is we are a network, and we link consumers and merchants, and we facilitate commerce, and we want to enable you to purchase your goods and services, whether it's paying your gas at the gas station, you're buying your groceries, going to a shopping mall, buying something online, or even kind of purchasing an NFT in the future. So I would say that's kind of what we're doing primarily as Visa. And of course, we are, I would say, the very early stage of exploring what other roles we could play in this space. And, we also have a partner program with NFT artists. We kind of launched that earlier this year, and there is a lot more exciting things that we are doing in that space. But that's a separate kind of strand which we have of kind of engaging with the community and giving them voice and kind of really galvanizing efforts and people around kind of few kind of stories. But that's a separate to the, I would say, and in parallel to the business side. And as mentioned, the primary role is really to be a network of choice and connect buyers and consumers.
Love it. So we got a few. Do you want to go, Lazaros? Yeah, and then there's a couple questions from the audience, so we'll circle on.
I just wanted to comment on previous comment from Veselina about the environment, because I think that there is some confusion around it, because essentially there are proof of work blockchains like Bitcoin and what Ethereum mostly is today, which do consume a lot of energy, but essentially NFTs are not issued in Bitcoin. They are issued in Ethereum, but Ethereum is moving away from this protocol. And other protocols are even less consuming than that. And we have to put this energy consumption into perspective as well. So it's not the best thing to reduce the consumption. Is the best approach is to enhance the production, like to manage to get more production from renewable sources, because technology always requires some amount of energy. And for example, the NFTs enable digital property. We don't think so much about energy when we do physical property. There is also energy wasted. So everything that we do does have a cost. Nothing is for free, but we need to weigh the costs with the benefits and put the effort in the production side of the energy. Of course, limiting the unnecessary consumption, but not all. Most of the consumption, I don't think, is unnecessary.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And I think that there should be more awareness around this topic, because it exists like this, but there should be more awareness and more, knowledge around this.
Yeah. So for anybody out there in the audience that's just trying to learn about NFTs for the first time, what do you recommend on how to learn? I have a podcast called NFT Heat, so we interview top thought leaders. I think podcasts are a great source. I know the Andreessen Horowitz Canon, the A16Z Canon, has a lot of links to articles and videos. There's obviously Twitter, and there's a bunch of people to follow there. But I'm just kind of curious what you all recommend, and how do you build your knowledge base in the space? Because I think there's a lot of people that are probably just learning about NFTs and Web3 for the first time, and they want to learn and grow. So, and I think one other thing on top of that, actually, before I throw the question to you, is I go to conferences, a lot of NFT conferences, and the connections you make there is amazing. So I'm going to be going to another conference in a couple of weeks here in Miami, but I think these in real life gatherings where you're meeting other people and learning and growing, I think is another great source of novel. But I'm curious to the panel what you recommend to people out there.
I can start if you
like. Yeah, please.
So I think like the blockchain itself is decentralized. The knowledge for these topics is also decentralized. So you kind of need to do your own research. Twitter is a great place to learn anything in regards to this. But there are many accounts that provide really bad knowledge, and there are really good ones. So how to separate which ones are good or bad, right? You have to get your hands dirty, I think. So you have to cross check from various sources. Some will seem trustworthy, some others not. Especially if you have some more experienced people in this space that have already done a few things. You can ask them to kind of be your mentors and guide you to specific sources and people that they follow. And that's mostly, since you are in this panel, I think you are already in that road of doing your own research and discovering.
Here, like for the newcomers in the NFT, I would definitely advise them first to understand what blockchain is. This is kind of like the fundament, and I have one favorite guy in YouTube. It's Andreas Antonopoulos. that is so specific. Like he's doing kind of understanding blockchain videos, and there's a huge playlist with really technicals explained on a way that everyone can understand what blockchain is, what is the value, how this could be implemented, what is electronic money, and by having like more understanding about what blockchain is, you will understand what NFT is, because then you have a fungible tokens and non-fungible tokens. There are two standards. And when you understand what a fungible token is, like what Bitcoin is, then you will be able to understand what does this mean if Bitcoin was only one and there is no other one. Then my second advice is opposite on the first one. Don't watch so many YouTubers. I mean, because there's so many, there's some really quality people, but there's so many just paid YouTubers that are doing some absolutely, they are promising you some amazing stuff that, oh, go and buy this one and you will become a millionaire tomorrow. That's insane. Like they need to ban these guys because a lot of people are fraudulent because of this kind of fake YouTubers that are overpromised. The same time, like there's so many literature that you can go and read on some specific websites. If you follow Cointelegraph, if you follow like podcasts like the Jones that are going deeper to the rabbit hole, you will get, you know, like at least you will get to know what some terminology that you don't understand, you will write down and then you're gonna research it on Google at least. And on that way, like if you are really focused for a week, you can really have the basic understanding and the ability to see behind the roles and to see like, this is kind of good, this is kind of fake, because there is utility here, there is just a copycat here. And yeah, that's my advice to the newcomers.
I love it. Nikola, how have you taught yourself? And I'm also curious, how is Visa educating its employees? Because it's a massive globalization, your organization. You guys are obviously very focused on the space. So I'm just curious what you've done personally and what Visa as an organization is doing.
Yeah, so that's a great question again, John. I think personally, I would say Crypto Canon from Anderson Horowitz is a great starting source. And if you have a great source to start with, you'll find sub-sources within a store. I mentioned, you'll find something like a name or like a certain like definition or concept that you don't understand, and then you'll try to, and you will eventually find it yourself with the search. Secondly, I would just say try it out. Okay, like don't invest your house and don't listen to the YouTubers who tell you to buy X and Y, but create your own profile, do one on Solana, do one on Ethereum, like try different blockchains, see how difficult or easy it is for you to go through the process. And then as you learn from the process, you'll actually start understanding how the whole kind of a Web 3.0 works together and kind of what are the different players' roles. On the Visa side, of course, as you can imagine, John, we have like a lot of internal webinars and internal kind of Visa University courses that we had one on actually NFTs led by Alex Chian, who leads our kind of NFT piece globally. And of course, we kind of share a lot of information internally with things such as articles and leads from Crypto Canon and respectable, reputable sources. And there are a few. Of course, there's some of them are paid for, like the Block or Messari. Okay, you need to buy a subscription, and if you have the money, I would highly recommend it. If you don't have money to spend on that, start with the Crypto Canon, start with the couple of respectable like online or video podcasts like the ones Stoyan mentioned, or watch like the Money Movement from the Circle Makes, and there are a couple of others. And once you start reading, you see something in a comment, and then you follow up and you find the next one. And I think that's the right way to filter through a lot of the speculative and kind of high level and not really helpful YouTubers who kind of shout at you what you need or don't need to do to make money. Certainly, like as a CFA, I can't advise you to go and get your advice there.
Yeah. So there's a question from Angel Haro in the audience. He said, from Visa, have you conducted any brainstorm on how to address the security issues around permissions for non-custodian wallets? I think that the space could use your expertise in this area if you can do it without compromising ownership.
So we obviously had a couple, conversations with non-custodial wallets, and really, depending on what kind of partnership they want to go through with us, obviously there are certain considerations you need to take into account if you want to issue a card as an off-ramp. You can't just be a DAO yet. You need to have some sort of registered entity. You need to have an enabler or have some sort of custodial element somewhere sitting today to be able to onboard with us. Of course, this is an evolving space, and this is what I really like about crypto. As Stoyan mentioned, 5 years ago it was chaos. 10 years ago it was like nothing almost, right? 5 years from now, it's probably going to be something that his grandma can use and my wife can use. And 10 years from now, maybe it's going to take over a lot of the financial flows that we see today and the way consumers interact with investing, moving things around, loyalty, collectibles, art, etc. So there are problems today. There's no doubt about that, but I think there are solutions in the way, some of them which we know and some which we don't know. And there is like 20K developers working on various blockchains, and I'm sure they're much smarter than I am, and they can create something cool and become rich in the process. Why not?
Yeah, I love it. So another question I have is, obviously you have the big Web2 giants like Amazon and Netflix and Facebook and Google, and I'm kind of curious what you think. How are these companies going to evolve into Web3? Are they going to survive this, or are there going to be new companies that are going to kind of like form from this that are going to become the new giants of industry?
I have my point of view. I'm curious to hear what Stoyan and Lazaros think about this, because they're more on the development side. I'm more the kind of sitting on the fence, looking at the overall trends and kind of the business as usual. How do we move it together in the new world side?
We have now an amazing case that is Meta. Facebook is converting into Web3 by building and leading actually the whole Web3 now with Meta and building their metaverse. And there is a lot of different opinions about what the metaverse need to be, and the decentralization is definitely one of the kind of the DNAs of the DNA of the Web3 is the decentralization. And the Web3 giants like Amazon, Facebook, all the other companies, it's really kind of in a conflict of what Web3 need to be and what is Web2, by holding all this value in a very centralized model. And then we're going to Web3 where the DNA is decentralized, but it's still centralized. We still don't know what exactly Facebook Meta looks like, but we have it in front of our eyes, and we need to keep track very, very carefully and to see how these companies will convert or they will fail. And at the same time, this helps now the whole world to start speaking and do Meta Weeks in Dubai, and all this industry is growing because the big ones from Web2 are starting to think about Web3. At the same time, it will be very, very difficult for them, I think, because their DNA is not decentralization. And it's interesting what will happen.
Love it.
Yeah, I would also agree with something along those lines. I think they are a bit too big to fail, so eventually they will, but they will have to adapt eventually. Like for example, if we look into the history, what happened with like Amazon disrupted the Walmart, but then Walmart also jumped online. So this is an example that I could see playing out. But some of them, as Meta, for example, does, they might even, it seems to do at least, has shown the signs, might even lead the way and become Web3 companies. So I think it will go both ways.
Yeah, and John, like I always said, thought that there is going to be some elements which will be revolutionized, but overall there is likely going to be evolution when it comes to how the crypto technology will start interacting with applications and the way consumers purchase, stream, buy tickets, etc. in the future. In the same way, when internet came, it's been like a long evolution of how you're effectively conducting your purchases. It didn't go straight from 0 to 100. And in that process, a lot of the incumbents kind of adapted and enabled you to buy goods and services online.
Yep. Yeah, and so NFT Genius, we built our marketplace on Flow. And as you know, I don't know if you're familiar with Flow, but Flow, you can basically just put in your credit card and you'll purchase the NFT within 2 minutes. I mean, it's frictionless, and that's one of the reasons we chose that blockchain. So really, I mean, if you know how to buy something on Amazon, you can basically go onto Flow and buy an NFT in the same way. And it doesn't even mention the name NFT. It actually, NFT is not even there. So, that's just an example of an on-ramp that makes, it very easy for mass consumer adoption. But those are the kind of solutions I think you need to start seeing more of. And I assume when Coinbase launches their NFT marketplace, you're going to see a very similar process. And one thing I do know about Coinbase is there's going to be a very strong community social sharing element. And I'm just sort of curious what the panelists think about the ability of NFTs to engage fans and build communities, because I think that's a very important part of NFTs. It's really you start to see all these new communities being formed right before your eyes. And I think it's going to change the way we interact as humans. So I'm very curious what the panelists think.
If I can start again, because we're very closely related with our products on this as well. And I think that this is one of the pretty clearest use cases for for adoption of NFTs, because you are having this influencer people that are big actors or celebrities or musicians or organizations that are having a big following, and until now some of them, they have some loyalty programs, they have some meet and greets, they have some very not very well structured campaigns that they do with their fans, let's say. But this actually, the NFTs are giving the tool to first the artist or the celebrity or whoever it is, to monetize with his fan base, and second, to engage them on 1,000 different ways by giving them different perks. For example, having a personal connection with them on some Discord group, or having a regular meet and greets, fireside chats. Why not? Inner meet and greets. Also, you can use this as a distribution of some merchandising that is specifically for these people that are fans, and this is kind of a real utility that is bringing with these NFTs to your following people, and that's why I'm a big fan of this adoption. If you're a football team, you can have this and that and that and that, and you can things that you are already giving to your fans with a club card, you can give with NFT. That is also a ticket for the derby and for the yearly match. And as you follow now Coachella, the big festival, they put NFT tickets that they gave lifetime access to their events when you buy their NFT. And it's really exciting what you can do if you are having a huge following. And the NFTs are specifically really good use case for the famous people now and organizations.
Yeah, and John, to add to that, and to echo what Stoyan is saying, absolutely, this is really the good part about the hype is always that there is it's standing on some legs, and depending, which glasses you put on, their legs are very thin or very thick. When it comes to engagement and having a way to really interact with your kind of followers as an artist or consumers as a brand, or at festival goers as Coachella, this is where NFTs really come into play, because it's a digital good. You can effectively interact in multiple environments, both digital and physical. And this is what makes it really exciting. And I would say really powerful as brands are starting to think, this is not necessarily some out there thing which is going to threaten us. This is an asset and a tool that we can use to really enhance how we deliver our products, solutions, propositions, and interactions with consumers today. And this is, I think, what's really going to push for other parts of the problems to be solved, starting with how you buy them, how you access them, how you store them, etc. Because this interaction piece is, I would say, the most powerful one and the one with the largest business application, one which will be driving the future outcomes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
They essentially take this the engagement and the monetization element for communities to the next level, both of them. And it's bi-directional. The creators can monetize their fan base, but also the fan base can monetize the fact that they are early adopters to this creator, because they can bet early on them. So, and then later when they become indeed big, they can reap the profits of this. And also they mix the marketing aspect inside the product. So if they give the content, their utility in the form of NFT, they make this, the owners of these NFTs and their fans, they make them as ambassadors and marketers, as at the same time users as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. Nikola, somebody has a question about the educational programs that happen at the Visa Innovation Program. Maybe you could just, I don't know if you offered that to the public. I guess maybe you could just explain what the Visa Innovation Program is for everybody.
We have Veselina there. She is the right person to explain this and to answer this question.
Of course, I love to do it. Basically, we started the Visa Innovation Program like 4 years ago in our region, mainly Southern Europe. Our idea back then was to create a platform to engage with emerging fintech companies that are popping up here and there in our region, and to allow them to engage with Visa and its global network of partners, meaning banks, new banks, governments, if you wish, and merchants, and all of these around the globe. And what we do basically is to announce an open call each year and attract the most promising fintechs to come and engage with us, to apply for this program and gain the opportunity to do some pilot projects and proof of concept and even commercial deals with Visa or its partners. And I'm really happy that only 3 years after we started this program, we have our first unicorn. We built a unicorn for coming out from Bulgaria, but we also have a lot of nice examples coming out of the program, like other startups started working directly with Visa or with some of the most prominent banks in our region, or with large merchants like, for example, Hepsi Burada in Turkey. And this program is growing and growing in prominence. It attracts startups all across Europe because we are mainly, we are positioned here, but in terms of applicants, we managed to attract more than 600 companies they are basically willing and they would like to become part of this network. I do hope that the program will continue to grow and to expand and to attract more and more companies. I would also love to see more use cases in the NFT space coming out of the Visa Innovation Program. That's why I'm inviting our audience and your communities, if they have use case with us, with Visa, with some other player, to come and apply and to talk to us.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of the questions from the audience was applications of NFTs in the healthcare and pharmaceutical industry, and also the educational space, which I think are huge opportunities. So, I mean, that's, you know, I think those are use cases where mass consumer adoption of NFTs would start to happen, obviously, because everybody needs healthcare and everybody needs education. So,
yeah, definitely. Well, I believe that there is this kind of, you know, blending and mixing between the different aspects of people's life. Fintech is just one part, but we also have health tech. We have, if you wish, like food and everything that contributes to you education as well, to you being a more, complete person. So I believe that there are more applications of the NFTs besides fintech, commerce, real estate, etc. Why not healthcare? Of course.
Yeah, I love it. You want Stoyan? You want?
Yeah, just want to add that all this industry is like, when you have this digital certificate that proves something, you can implement in the key points of actually your electronic record, a medical record, or also we can mention PropTech. I think that there will be a whole buildings that are fragmented to NFTs and sold as NFTs. When you own the NFT, you own the apartment, for example. In the physical world, also in the metaverse, why not? And so many, like it's just everywhere. It can touch every single industry, no matter if it's medical, prop tech, events with event tickets as well. It's just very exciting what we have in the next years.
Love it, love it. So final question, I want to be cognizant of everybody's time. We're all obviously super busy, but I'm just curious, each has, what do you see the biggest opportunities in the NFT and Web3 space in 2022 and beyond?
Okay, I would say that as for beyond, I would say everything will essentially include some NFT element. For the 2022, to bring it to now, I think we are now starting to move beyond the JPEGs and into more sophisticated use cases. I think a huge one is utilities, like these fan club tokens, essentially for that we are also in this space for sports, for music, that allow for access to events, exclusive events, allow for discount to merchandise and any type of utility. So the utilities would be one. Music is one that's coming next with intellectual property and with fan club tokens and maybe crowdfunding. Then gaming is definitely one of the next, and charity, as we have already seen, and fundraising with Ukraine, for example. So yeah, I think these are already here, honestly, not just coming.
Yeah. Stoyan?
I also think that like you mentioned, like maybe the most the most important use cases that are now not just a miracle, but they're like people are really working on. And this is definitely, like I felt in the beginning of last year and until the middle of last year, 2021, that we were on the same stage where the ICO was in 2017. A big hype, a lot of money, someone buy for $10 and sold it for 20 million. And this is a huge respect for this, like bringing a big hype that is actually, this brings a lot of people to the NFTs and put the periscope there. But a lot of people get fraudulent, a lot of people lose their money, and a lot of things that are not good for the industry in general. I'm very happy that this period is already I can say in the past, because now the things are evolving very fast, and based on the experience with the crypto in general for the last years, people are starting advancing and understanding what is real, what is not, and all the things that Lazaros mentioned. I think that this year will be improvement on this direction.
Yeah, I'll try to keep it brief, John, mindful of time. I would say for 2022, we'll see a massive growth in a very narrowly defined scope of use cases. And beyond that, you'll start seeing NFTs gain traction and application, a number of new merchant verticals and use cases that Stoyan and Lazaros were mentioning here, and maybe some others which we haven't thought about. And as mentioned, again, that's always the very exciting part of crypto for me, because as much as you think you know how somebody's going to use new technology to build something, you don't. And you're going to find something incredibly awesome and potentially very useful. And I hope to see new type of business models emerge out of this.
Love it.
And if I can just start here, that the utility that will be provided to the NFTs, this is at the end of the day the most important. And the collections and the people that are going to build new NFTs now, they will understand that if they give real value with utility and perks, then they will be valued. If not, they will just be the next copycat that is going to a trash.
Love it, love it. And where is the best place for people to learn more about what everybody's doing, either personally on social or their companies? I guess I'll start with Lazaros, and then we'll just kind of go from right to left.
Okay, thanks. You can find us on ComeTogether.network. We are in the process of changing the site this week, so we will update it. And also on every social media, ComeTogether.network.
Love it, love it. Stoyan?
Yeah, I'm the founder and the CEO of Evido. You can see everything what we do on evido.co. I just put on the live chat. Also, feel free, guys, to connect with me on LinkedIn, Twitter, Telegram, WeChat, everywhere. Stoyan Angelov as my name. These are all my profiles, and would love to proceed communicating with you guys that are here on the Fireside chat. And thanks for all the people that are joining here. And I hope that we give a little bit more clarity of what NFT is and what to take a look and not when it comes to NFTs and crypto. And also want to say Happy International Women's Day to all the ladies here that are watching.
Absolutely.
Yes, I would just echo what Stoyan said. Happy International Women's Day to all the ladies on the call, and you can learn more about what we are doing at visa.com/crypto.
Love it, love it. You know, and just since it is Women's International Day, I'm just curious what, you know, it's a question I asked on my podcast, but what could be done to onboard more women and unrepresented voices in the space? You know, what is Visa doing in particular?
Absolutely. We are supporting several initiatives there, and then we have a kind of internal women in crypto team at Visa, and I would say that they're very engaged and involved with the community, and we would love to have more women involved in this space and really kind of make it a very representative space where you don't just have men leading everything. So that's my firm view, and I'm sure you will back me on this.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you again to all the panelists and Veselina for putting this together. It was amazing. I'll let you take it.